Hi, the topic today is how to be successful. And I'm focusing on clarity. Clarity is very, very important. Because clarity is your ability to see through and then capture your main target, capture your main purpose. That is what clarity is all about. And nature provides us with clarity. So clarity has to do with your ability to internalize knowledge, have a deep understanding of that knowledge, then apply action, and then you get results. So we need clarity in our life, clarity of vision, clarity of purpose, clarity of aspiration. So all these things are very, very important, because without clarity, you won't be able to see what your vision is. You won't be able to see your aspiration, your purpose. But with clarity, then you can see through, because it's like something that is, you have a lead or a slip that covers something. So it is meant for us to look into the future and then come up with, it's just like an eagle. Eagle will stay from a far distance, see the target, swoop on and then pick it up. That is I'm trying to explain to you what clarity is all about. Clarity is like this envelope I'm holding here now. You see, in the first instance, the images are blurred. It's like illusion. You are not able to see through. So, but if you have clarity, you will see through, and then when you see through, you see the original thing. Like, this is an envelope. The covering is like a shadow, a cloud, a smoke covering it. You don't see it. So unless you open this envelope and then get out, bring out this things. And when you bring it out, this is the clarity of what I'm talking about, because clarity is hidden. See, your purpose, your vision is hidden. But unless you can pierce through, because like this envelope, it covers whatever that is inside of it. So for me, that's why I tell people, say, challenge does not exist. You see, the so-called problem, they don't exist. Because according to God, God paid the price. If you understand this thing now, according to God, God paid the price of our sin billions and billions of years before the beginning of the creation. So your capacity to understand, your capacity to have this knowledge, and your capacity to understand these things frees you from the bondage you find yourself. So it's like when you have knowledge and have understanding, then fear disappears. Jealousy disappears. Anger disappears. Hatred disappears. Because you are no longer suffering from that illusion. Illusion as a result of lack of clarity. So the clarity tells you, it gives you the ability to pierce through and capture your vision, capture your aspiration, capture your future. And that is what people will say, seeing yourself. Your ability to meet yourself is very, very important. So This is what clarity is all about. Your ability to, see through the mirage, the cloud, the fog of life, and see who you are and meet yourself. Is very, very important. So the clarity, the level of clarity you have, the more confidence you have. Because I do tell people, I say, look, from the knowledge I have, from the deep understanding I have, problem does not exist. Challenge does not exist. The challenge is there to test your faith, to know if actually you have captured your vision, or you've captured your aspiration in life. Because in the beginning, God solved every problem. So where again did the problem come from? If God has solved the problem, where the hell did it come from? Have you not heard that answer comes before the question? Before a question, before you set a question, you've already had the answer. So the fog is like the question. The mirage is like a question. But if you calm down, you see that the answer is inside the question. So this envelope is the question. This is the question. But the answer is right inside. Look at the answer. So that's why I said challenge does not exist. I've experienced it. That's why I'm saying this. Whatever you call a challenge does not exist. It is an apparition. It is like a shadow. Because because God gave you a powerful spirit. He gives you a powerful sense of vision so that you can, see through the veil, see through the slide. You see through the blind and then capture what is behind it. So what we work on is illusion. And the illusion is what is holding us spellbound, keeping us from moving. That is why God said, it is only through faith you cannot do anything powerful. Without faith, you can't do anything. Because faith will provide that clarity. Faith will make that illusion to disappear, to melt away. It's just like when you are flying, you see a fog. The fog covers everything. But behind the fog, there is clarity. So, challenge does not exist. It is an illusion, it's an apparition. For myself, like when I was in school, I experienced serious problem. Many people told me, look, this is what is going to happen. Find your way, escape, do this. Because from what they are seeing, but they are not seeing the original thing that is behind all this hula blah. But I was saying it. So after like 2 years or 3 years, the challenge melted away. That gave me the inspiration that challenge does not exist. It is there to test your faith, to see the level of clarity you possess in life. Because what our mind and what our eyes see, we are ruled by our eyes. The eyes is deceitful. Look at it. A teacher who comes up to set a question had already put down the answer. So a question is like apparition. A question is just like a fog. When you dissect the question, you get the answer. So, but we allow the fog to blind us from the reality of life. We allow the fog, the illusion, to blind us from our aspiration and our vision. So that is why I am saying today, clarity is very, very important. You know, clarity helps you to understand your permanent vision, your permanent aspiration. Gives you the authority, the confidence. Marcus Garvey said, if you have no confidence in life, in self, you are twice defeated in the rest of life. The purpose of education is to give you confidence. Because with confidence, you know that problem does not exist. I went to where my daughter was having the last days they were being given an award. One of the speakers, and apart from that, one of the speakers, well, he was focusing on resilience. And I read the school's vision. What it's talking about is the confidence and the resilience. So that is the purpose of education. If after having a degree, you don't have confidence, the education, means it's a failure to you. That means it's a disservice to you. So clarity is very, very important. Clarity is something that helps, for you to see through the veil of life and come up. I've used the ego. When the ego is about 30,000 feet, it sees a penny on the ground. But he doesn't see, he sees the shadow is there, the fog is covering it. But is able to see through the fog, be able to see through the illusion. And then he sweeps through. He learns and pick it up. So we are like eagles. We can see our vision thousands of years, thousands of miles away. But we have the wings and the strength and the power to grab it. That is clarity, power of clarity. So, from my own experience, I just know that challenge does not exist. It is the game of the mind that keeps bothering you, creating worries and anxiety, and then bringing in self-doubt. See, so with clarity, you see through the illusion of worries, anxieties, and self-doubt. You are doubting yourself. Because when you doubt yourself, you won't have self-confidence. And once you don't have self-confidence, you won't be able to withstand the pressures of life. And then you give in. And then you conclude, oh, that is my vision. Or that is how my circumstance. You can't be a victim of circumstance in any form. God created us the same way he made himself. God does not allow his circumstance to affect him. So we shouldn't allow our circumstance to take control of ourselves. We shouldn't be a victim of our circumstance. So no matter the situation you find yourself, you just have to understand that challenge does not exist. I have experienced it not once, not twice, not 3, 4 times or 6 times in my life. because that is illusion. It's stated in the Bible, there were there were people who normally have there's a disease they normally have. I've forgotten them. I will remember it maybe. People used to ostracize themselves. People don't want to have communication with these people because they had leprosy, the word leprosy. So they were kept outside the city. And they were kept there for, who knows, thousands of years or something like that. But they were there. People who forced them to be there had died about 520 years ago, 30 years ago. They didn't know that nobody was against them. It was only one of them that had the courage to move back and find out that the people they thought were against them, that ostracized them from childhood, from generation to generation, that had gone a long time ago. So they were kept in that position by circumstance. And each time one of them wants to take a bold move, the other one will pull him down. Just like a crab mentality. Christ came to tell us the door is open, man. That's the purpose of Christ, to tell us the door to God is open. The access to God is open. Stop allowing your circumstance to hold you spellbound. Stop imagining your circumstances. Because the door exists, it's illusion. You allow self-doubt to hold you so that you can move. There is no lion out there. Get on your feet and move. So clarity is very, very important. Clarity keeps you away from worries, keeps you away from self-doubt, keeps you away from anxiety. Because you know that they don't exist. If I had followed some of my friends in my university days, my third year, I had a problem, I would not have graduated. They were all telling me, VC, the fire is on the mountain. I said, which fire? Escape well. I said, where? Escape to where? I held my breath, held myself. The problem never existed. That was when I knew that challenge is illusion. It's a made-up. It's fake. So the mind is playing you. So that's why from childhood, I knew that challenge does not exist. It's not now that I knew about it. So until you are able to see through the shadow, the darkness, and the veil of life, you won't see your vision. You won't see who God has made you to be. It is your responsibility to meet yourself. Before meeting yourself, there is a veil covering it. There is a fog covering it. You need to pierce through the fog and capture yourself and meet yourself there. Like the envelope. If I want to see what is in this envelope, I must have the courage to pierce through this paper, the external one, in order to have access to this. Access to what is inside of you. So you need to have access to what is inside of you. But if you are dwelling on illusion and self-doubt, you won't be able to open it up. You won't be able to carry on. Fear alone will make you die before your time. That's why they said your purpose protects you from dying. Because if you know your purpose, then you cannot die until you achieve it. But if you don't know your purpose, death will come and they take you and they take you, snuff life out of you. So that's why God always says, pursue your purpose. Because with your purpose, death cannot do anything, because it's been willed by Almighty that you must complete your assignment. But if you don't know your purpose, anything can take your life. Any stupid person can come and attack you and kill you. So intelligent men from generation to generation always look for one thing, their purpose. Because with your purpose, you are protected from death. So clarity is very, very important. Clarity is like an eagle picking up a coin from 30,000 feet. Don't believe that eagles suffer illusion. They suffer lack of clarity. Because if it's from 30,000 feet, you see the cloud is covering the target. But with the life, strength, and wings, it goes down. He swoops and pick it up. So you need to swoop and pick up your vision. Don't allow delusion, anxiety, fear, circumstance, excuses to overshadow your vision. Because those fears, they don't exist. You are just building up because you want excuse. You are comfortable in giving excuses. You've read in the Bible, God has made you God. If you don't know it, read it in Exodus, where Moses said it. Twice. You don't see that one. So, clarity of vision is important. Because with clarity, fear disappears. Because knowledge and understanding push fear away. Whenever you're fearing, it's because you don't have knowledge. You don't have knowledge that illusion does not, challenge does not exist. Now, if they tell you that a lion is caged, you go to the zoo, isn't it? But if they tell you that lion is on the loose, do you go to the zoo? No. That is knowledge. Knowledge cages your anxiety and self-doubt and worries. Because you have knowledge. If I have knowledge that God exists, why am I afraid? Why am I afraid? If I have knowledge that this is where I'm going, why am I going to be afraid? The knowledge I have is that God has solved every problem before he created the world. Our Bible, Isaiah said, your price, the price of your sin was paid way before the creation of the world. So the reason people kill, go armed robbery, do foolish things is because they don't have knowledge and understanding. If you have knowledge and understanding, you wouldn't take gun and start shooting people. If you have knowledge and understanding, you won't be fighting your wife. If you have knowledge and understanding, you won't be having hatred, jealousy, anger, bitterness, and all sorts of things. That is why we're saying clarity is important. Clarity gives, clarity helps you. Clarity is like acquiring knowledge and understanding. And then you develop confidence. Because without confidence, you'll be timid and passive throughout your life. Just like a band of the people suffering from leprosy. They stood there thinking that people were holding them, that they didn't know nobody was holding them there. They stayed there from generation to generation, from generation to generation. What was keeping them there was the illusion, fear, anxiety, mirage, fog is what was keeping them there. The same thing happens to us. Because we don't have knowledge and understanding, we think a problem exists. You think a challenge exists. The challenge is there to know if you actually have faith. So if you have faith, you know that challenge does not exist. Because God said, I'll solve every problem before you were created. You are just being foolish by accepting that there's a problem or there's a challenge. Where is the challenge? So is this the game of the mind that suppresses you and puts you in a hole and you stay there and then for 100 years you die and then the whole thing finishes? So it's good. It's been a very beautiful day. So I'm winding down. Clarity is important. Clarity gives you the confidence because clarity is about knowledge and understanding. And once you have knowledge and understanding and you act on it, action, you get results. Finally, challenge does not exist. God has solved every problem before you were created. It is illusion. It is the eyes that's playing, deceiving you like a mirage. And then you allow yourself to be a victim of your circumstance. Don't be a victim of your circumstances. Thank you.